Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel and thanks for joining me for another video. This is Quita from AtHomeWithQuita, and here I share tips on how to plan a balanced life. So if you're new here, I hope you'll consider subscribing. Now more than ever, it is extremely important to protect your vibe and your energy. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you 15 tips on how to do just that. So let's get into it. Hey guys, so in today's video, I'm going to share with you some tips on how you can protect your vibe and your mental clarity, especially now. Since there's so much going on, I thought it was the perfect time to share this type of video. There's something called the law of attraction, and that states that you attract what you are focusing on into your life. Your thoughts manifest into events and things. Essentially, you create your own reality using your mind. So therefore, to attract positive energy into your life, you have to maintain a positive mindset. So let's get into that first tip. The first tip to maintain mental clarity and protect your vibe is to let go of things that you can't control. Unfortunately, you can't stop a tornado from happening, but you can prevent simple anxiety. And one of the leading factors that leads to anxiety is procrastination, and you can control that. So learn to set a new routine for yourself and start by making a small to-do list to help you stay focused. Training your mind, body, and soul to accomplish even the smallest tasks is a great way to stick to a plan. We just can't control the things we can't control, like losing a job, but you can control getting a new one. So really try to focus on what you can control, let go of what you can't control, because there is just simply nothing you can do about certain things, and that can affect you negatively if you continue to focus on those things. The second tip is to try and turn a negative into a positive. Now I know that's easier said than done. After all, we're all human and sometimes that is very difficult to do. But to maintain a positive mindset, you have to think positive thoughts. And we all have negative thoughts that pop into our head sometime, but you really need to try and master the art of turning those things into positive thoughts. It's going to be virtually impossible to raise your vibe with negative thinking. So instead of often criticizing yourself, try to turn that into positive talk. Example, try and turn a negative statement into a positive statement. Turn an I can't into an I can. So instead of saying there's no way that I'm going to be able to lose 50 pounds, try saying I can lose 50 pounds if I work at it, if I exercise, if I eat healthy, if I drink water, if I do all of those things, XYZ, I can work towards losing those 50 pounds. That is the way to turn that negative thought into a positive thought. Tip number 3 is to stop comparing yourself to others. It's so easy to find ourselves comparing our lives to someone else's and thinking that the grass is greener on that other side. But if you focus on watering your own garden, you won't have to think about how the grass may be greener on someone else's side. That's not fair to you or the person that you feel is above you. You don't know how long it took them to get to that place. So don't compare where you're at in your life to where that other person is in their life. It will belittle you and have you feeling defeated. If you find yourself in this position, try to make a change as soon as you can. Tip number 4 is don't do anything that doesn't sit right with your vibe. And you know, and so 9 times out of 10, when you just kind of go with your gut feeling, you're typically correct. So you really need to get in the habit of saying no. If it doesn't sit right with you, it is okay to say no. You are entitled to make your own decisions and your feelings are valid. Tip number 5, consume content that is good for your soul. The noise created by social media and the news can be very overwhelming. And that noise isn't always valuable. It can stress you out without providing a justifiable benefit. So you really have to be more mindful and aware of the content that you're taking in. So start by watching less TV and less scrolling on social media. Instead, read an inspiring book or listen to a podcast or do an art project. By monitoring the content you consume, you can control your mindset. So every now and then I try to do a digital detox, and that helps me so much to just kind of shut the noise out. I stay away from most forms of social media except for email, because fun fact, email is not considered social media. Look it up. And so I will stay off of Instagram, off of YouTube, off of all other forms of social media. I have to do email because I do run a business, so that's really hard to do. And so that helps me so much to gain a little bit more mental clarity. Most of the time I'll do it for like a week, and a week seems to reset me and get me in the right frame of mind. And it's just so helpful. So try doing a digital detox, because you can avoid the anxiety and stresses of social media by just staying away from it. And so part of raising your vibe is connecting with your inner self. And social media is often distracting you from doing that. And they can steer us away from things that truly matter. So try making a no TV, no social media rule for yourself for an entire week. And when you get that urge to turn on the TV or scroll social media, try writing in your journal, go for a walk, exercise, do some different activities that can distract you from that urge. And another part of that is to delete, unblock, and unfollow negative influences on social media. Social media definitely affects your vibe, so it's important that you follow the right accounts. You should follow accounts that inspire you and motivate you to do better, not accounts that encourage harmful behavior. And so it's definitely not personal to block, unfollow, or delete these negative influences. It's your life. So fill your feed with those who are all about a high vibe just like you are. So let's say one of your accounts is posting memes or inappropriate things that are triggering you or just overall negative. Unfollow them. There may be an influencer that is promoting a product that is just not beneficial for your health. Unfollow them. Or if there is just someone that is not on track with the high vibe lifestyle you are trying to live, it is okay to block them, unfollow them, or delete them. Tip number 6. Try to spend some time alone. Now I know this is super tricky, especially if you're a parent like we are, to find one, quiet time, and 2, a quiet space, especially when you live in a house with kids. We have 2 kids, and so sometimes it's a little tricky, but I do feel like I have been able to do this over the years, and it has really helped me to be able to have my space and my time to myself to really think about life, my goals, and just reflect on everything. And so on those days when anxiety is super high, try to find a quiet space where you can sit, maybe listen to some quiet music, read, meditate, whatever is your thing, and shut yourself off from the world and take that time for you. Spending time alone will ensure that your cup gets refilled. There's 24 hours in the day, and you are entitled and deserving of at least one. Tip number 7, try to avoid gossip and bashing others. All I'll say about this one is that it's impossible to grow if you're constantly worrying about what other people are doing. Water your own grass and focus on its growth. Nothing ever good comes out of gossiping, being messy, talking about other people behind their backs. Do unto others, right? So you wouldn't want anyone talking or gossiping about you, so try to limit doing the same to other people. We all learned in grade school that saying that it's not nice to talk about others, especially when they're not there to defend themselves. So limit gossip, limit negative speech about others. It's not a good look. Nothing ever good comes from it. And it does affect your mental clarity and your vibe by negative speech about other people. Tip number 8, stay away from people who drain your energy. And those are often known as toxic people. And I know it can be hard to cut off certain people out of your life that may be toxic to your vibe, but once you learn how precious you are and how precious your time is, it becomes easier to cut off those who are affecting your life in a negative way. I'm also talking about those friends who always claim to have your back, but when the time comes, they're nowhere in sight. Or the friends who never call you to check in. Those kind of people can hinder your growth. The people you surround yourself with have a direct impact on your vibe. Don't forget that. And so for me, I keep my inner circle small and tight. For me, it's about more so quality over quantity. So I don't have a huge network of people that I'm super close with. I do have quite a bit of acquaintances, but those who I consider to be really in my inner circle, who I mingle with on a day-to-day basis, are not that many. So I prefer to surround myself with people who bring positivity into my life. And I also avoid the drama, you guys, and talking badly about others. You can raise your vibe by nurturing healthy and supportive relationships with others. And because I'm selective with who I allow to really be a part of my life, I can cherish my close friends and give them more of the love that they deserve. And so if you have that one friend who is always causing drama, you may have to try and limit your time that you spend with that person. And also try and surround yourselves with those people who have that high vibe energy that you strive to have. Tip number 9, avoid opinions that don't enhance your life. Because what happens is that you tend to start overthinking things, and then you also may start to believe those things that others are saying. And that can have a truly detrimental and negative impact on you and your well-being. And it can also cause self-doubt. So really try to be aware of those who may be giving too much input or just be a constant negative and not giving you anything positive. And you may have to try and limit your association with those people. Tip number 10 is to stop doubting yourself. I can't say this enough. Do you see me? I'm looking right at you. Stop doubting yourself. Self-doubt kills more dreams than I can count. We have to teach ourselves to not fill our beautiful brains with such negativity. So some ways that you can overcome doubt are, number 1, practice self-compassion. Number 2, remember your past achievements. Number 3, and we have already touched on this, is to stop comparing yourself to others. Number 4, be mindful of your thinking and the thoughts that are in your head. Number 5, spend more time with supportive people. Number 6, find validation from within. Don't look for others to validate you. Number 7, remember that you are your hardest critic. And number 8, try and identify your values. So we all experience self-doubt from time to time. It's totally normal. You are a human being, so you're not going to be one that doesn't experience this. We all do. So just learn how to control it through practicing those things that I just mentioned, and that will lessen your self-doubt. So that way you can achieve all of the dreams that you want to achieve in life. Tip number 11, forgive those who you may feel have done you wrong. You can't achieve inner peace until you have forgiven all of those who you feel have wronged you in some way. You need to forgive them within your heart and allow yourself to heal so that you can move forward. The goal is to get rid of any ill will feeling or bad emotions that you feel toward other people. So forgiveness will release those negative feelings. And we don't want negativity. We only want to be thinking positive thoughts, feeling positive feelings, and attracting positive energy. Tip number 12, express yourself with love. You attract love into your life by focusing on it. Instead of focusing on negative emotions like anger or hate, make sure the actions you take are fueled by love and compassion. Now, I'm not saying that you should never express negative emotions. You are human after all. And you'll feel sad and angry at times. But instead of expressing negative feelings in an unproductive way, do it through something you love. Example, we're all planners here, right? And so you can channel that energy into planning. You can really sit down on those days when you're just not feeling quite right. You have some negativity built up within you, and use that and let that fuel you to create some amazing spreads. So channel that into art if you're about art. Channel it into cooking if you're about cooking, cleaning, if you're into the household sort of thing, into your kids, into going out of the house and going to a restaurant that you love. Channel it into something positive instead of something unproductive and something that's not going to help you. Tip number 13, and this can be a super tricky one, stop complaining, okay? If at all possible. Again, we are all human with human tendencies, and so all of these things are some things that you're just going to have to work on. Some people longer than others, but the key here is to try. So try to stop complaining. Complaining is inherently negative, and you attract negativity every time you complain. So instead of complaining about your problems, try showing gratitude and be grateful for the things that you do have. By focusing on the positive, you'll feel happier, get into a better mindset, and attract the right kind of energy into your life. Tip number 14, speak kindly to yourself and others. And positive affirmations is a great way to put yourself in a great self-love routine. So start with some simple affirmations like I am beautiful or I can do this. And practicing self-love is the best thing that you can do for your vibe. When you love yourself unconditionally, you'll naturally feel happier. It's also important to be nicer to people around you. That means loved ones, friends, family, strangers, your neighbor, people on the internet, or anyone you come in contact with. Little gestures of kindness go a long way. You'll make someone else's day and attract some great positive energy into your life. So try holding the door for a stranger. It's such a simple thing to do, but it does go a long way. And it'll make someone else's life a little easier. I mean, what if that person is having the worst day ever and you just held the door for them? A little gesture of kindness could really make that person's day. So use affirmations to help build up your self-love if that's something that you struggle with, and also show kindness to others with little gestures. So I really love writing in affirmations in my planner on a weekly basis, so that way I could see it right in front of me. So intentions keep you on track, and positive affirmations really help you to get into a positive mindset. By repeating affirmations daily, you'll naturally raise your vibe and attract positivity into your life. Affirmations really do challenge negative or overly critical thoughts. So if you struggle with negative self-talk, positive affirmation is going to help you with those unhelpful statements. And it's important to recognize that there are many ways to practice self-love. And you should try to love yourself in as many ways as possible so you could feel happier and have more confidence. Learn to love your intelligence, your talent, your appearance, your passion, your creativity, your kindness, your empathy. I mean, the list is endless. So for example, if you're not truly happy with your body, work on loving your appearance more. If you don't feel confident in your skills, accept your abilities as they are, but keep striving to improve them. So like I mentioned earlier, loving yourself is one of the strongest ways you can raise your vibe and mental clarity. So here's some affirmations that you can use to help with that. Tell yourself, I am beautiful. I am intelligent. I deserve the best. I radiate positivity. Fear of failure does not control me. I am a good person. So you could see how affirmations, just me doing that, I'm convinced. So affirmations are very helpful and useful. So try them. It's going to help to raise and elevate your vibe. And that's what we all strive for. And they are just so helpful. So implement them into your life and you'll see the change that you need to change in order to keep cultivating that self-love. That is so important. Tip number 15 is to have fun with your life. Life is hard, of course, but it is also fun. Your life can be anything. It's truly what you make of it. So instead of saying negative things about your life, try to figure out more ways that you can have fun with it. So those are my 15 ways to increase and elevate your vibe and mental clarity, which is so important, especially with everything that is going on right now. And so that's why I wanted to share these things with you that have helped me. Of course, again, these things are things you're going to have to constantly work at. We all let negative feelings and thoughts come into our minds. So just make a conscious effort to try and weed those things out as much as possible and implement some of these things that are going to help to increase and elevate yourself. That is what it's all about. So that is all for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. It gave you a little bit of inspiration. I really truly love sitting down with you guys on days like this to share tips and tricks and things that have helped me in life. And I also absorb things from you as well. I read your comments, I see things below. All of the support and encouragement means a lot to me, and it really helps me to stay in that good vibe space, and that's where I want to be. So thank you guys so much for watching today. I really appreciate you stopping by my channel today. I hope you enjoyed it, so much so that you will give me a thumbs up on this video. You'll consider subscribing to my channel if you're new here, and you'll stop back by and catch another video, in which case I'll see you guys then.